Today we are starting our discussion on Pragyapana Sutra. Pragyapana Sutra is one of the 12 Upangas among the Jain sacred literature. It is written by Shamacharya, who was the great scholar, saint, and expert of Jain Purvas in the 3rd century BCE. He explained all the basic principles and practices of Jainism in this particular text. In the very first chapter, he's talking about two fundamental realities. As we know that there is nothing which is isolated without antithesis. Everything is existing in binary. And this is the truth which has been said, proclaimed in the very famous scripture known as Sthanam or Sthanam. In this particular sacred text, Mahavir says that Jadathinam loge tam sabvam dupa o aram tanjaha jivat jiva ajivat jiva. It means whatever is existing in this universe is always with its opposite. For example, living and non-living. So in this way, you find that there are two fundamental realities of the universe, and they are recognized as living and non-living entities. What is living? Living is that which is having consciousness, which is endowed with consciousness, bliss, energy, and vitalities. What is non-living? It is just opposite to it. It is devoid of consciousness and cognitive behavior. Though we are finding so many devices which are being run with the support of artificial intelligence, and because of that, we are thinking that now the consciousness is not only confined to the living beings, it is expanded or extended to the non-living entities too. But we have to understand these are the only equipments or instruments, material devices, which are created by some human beings, some real consciousness. They are not having real consciousness. And therefore, they cannot be equated with the living beings. Now we would see that in the first chapter, when we talk of, we see two types of realities or entities. Among them, one is non-living entity. According to Jainism, this non-living term is used in a very wider sense. This non-living doesn't mean only physical entities or material entities, but it also includes those entities which are non-physical and devoid of consciousness. For example, there are 4 such entities which are non-physical and devoid of consciousness. They are Dharma, Adharma, Akash, and Kal. Dharma, this term doesn't mean any kind of religion or ethical rules and regulations or social responsibilities or duties, but it stands for the medium of motion. It is a very technical term of Jain tradition. We don't find such kind of a substance in any other philosophical traditions. Adharma also doesn't mean any kind of irreligious or unethical things, but it is also a substance which is used or which is known as the medium of rest. Akash stands for space, which has the special quality, and that quality is to provide accommodation to all living and non-living entities. Time is the entity which supports all the living and non-living elements to change. Now we would see that the first three non-physical entities, which are dharma, adharma, and akash, they are understood in three ways. When we talk of these three entities as a whole, as a total substance, then they are recognized as skandha. But when we are talking of some part of these entities, then those parts are recognized as desha. And the indivisible unit or indivisible part of all these substances is known as pradesha. So far as time is concerned, it is always momentary. It has no divisions, and therefore it is not recognized as extended reality. These four non-physical, non-living entities and one physical entity, they all are explained from 5 angles. The first angle is substance, substantial point of view. In this particular angle, it is said that dharma, adharma, and akash, all these three entities are unitary, single, they have no other such kind of other entities. So there is only one entity like dharma, there is one entity like adharma, and there is only one entity like space in this universe. So far as Khan is concerned, since time is a kind of a moment, and those moments can be infinite in number from past to future. So it is said that time is infinite, and according to Digambar tradition, time is also seen as a substance, and it is innumerable in number. Now we would see that all these substances, from substantial point of view, these are the things which we have understood. Now from a spatial point of view, we see that dharma, adharma, these two entities are co-extensive of space, cosmic space. They are expanded throughout the cosmos, but they are not available beyond or after the cosmic space. Space itself is a very big element or entity. It is expanded in cosmic space and also beyond of it. Time, so far as time is concerned, time is also understood in two ways. One is empirical and other one is transcendental. So the transcendental time applies to all the entities, whether it is a cosmic space or transcosmic space, dharma, adharma, or jiva, soul, or matter. But so far as the empirical time is concerned, it is based on the motion of sun and moon or planets, and that's why it is only confined to the human sphere. Now, from temporal point of view, we can see that dharma, adharma, akash, and kal, matter, and soul, all these 6 substances are eternal. They are existing from the time immemorial, and they will always exist in future. So they are eternal, and because being eternal, there is no need to create them. And this is the reason why Jainism doesn't believe in any such God who is recognized as creator of the universe. Though Jainism believes in infinite number of God who are recognized as Siddha, liberated souls. From modal point of view, we can say that dharma, adharma, akash, and kal, even the matter and the soul, all the 6 substances undergo infinite number of changes. And that's why we find change in our cells, change in other entities which are found in our surrounding. They are changing at every moment. So in spite of so many changes, these old basic entities never lose their essential nature. They remain always as it is in themselves. So far as the spatial qualities of all these 6 substances are concerned, we find that Dharmadravya is having a special quality, and that is to be the medium of motion. Adharmadravya is also having a special quality, that is to be the medium of rest. Space is also having a special quality, and that is to provide accommodation. Time is also having a special quality, and that is change. And matter is also having a special quality, and those qualities we will discuss in the next slide, which are recognized as color, smell, taste, touch, and shape. And soul is having special quality, that is consciousness. So in this way, we find that all these basic entities are having their own special qualities, and because of that, they are recognized as independent realities. Now we are coming to the second category of non-living entities, and that is the matter. All types of material bodies and entities, they come under this particular substance, which is known as matter or physical entity, or we can say Pudgal in Jain terminology. This physical entity is again divided or understood in 4 ways. When we talk of entire matter, which is spread throughout the space, and in the through not only the what we say throughout the space, it is especially confined to the cosmic space, and we find that there are certain material entities which are very subtle, invisible, or not easily detectable. And there is a lot of matter which is also invisible. But when we talk about the material entities in totality, then we include all those material bodies which are invisible or dark. Second is that when we are talking about material stuff in part, then it is known as Desh. When we are talking about the material part which is indivisible and also connected with some material body, then it is known as Pradesha. But when this indivisible part is separated, then it is recognized as Parmanu, which is known as smallest unit or atom sometimes. Though today science is talking about atom in the sense that it is also a divisible unit, and they have found 200 subparticles out of one atom. It may be that what atom they are talking, it may be divisible, but so far as the term Parmanu is concerned of Jain tradition, it stands for only that particle which is indivisible, smallest and last unit of any physical entity. Now we would see that all the physical entities are having 5 fundamental qualities which are special to matter. And those qualities are color, smell, taste. It is not, the spelling is T-A-S-T, taste, touch, and shape. So there are 5 types of color, 2 types of smell, 5 types of taste, and 8 types of touch, and 5 types of shape. When we combine all these qualities with each other and make some combinations, then we get 530 types of material. entities. So including the 30 divisions of non-physical, non-living entities, and these 500, 530 types of these physical entities, the total number comes out is 565. And the explanation for this 565 is this, that as we know that all these 4 non-living entities are divided into 3 ways, Skandha, Desh and Pradesh. So 3 into 3, 9. And time is also a non-physical entity. So the total number of our non-physical entities are 10. When all these non-physical entities are explained from the point of view of the 5 angles, and when we include physical entity also in them, then they become of 25 types. So far as the physical non-living entity is concerned, it is of 530 types because of the permutations and combinations of its basic fundamental qualities, which are known as smell, color, taste, touch, and shape. So when we combine these 25 types of qualities with each other, then we will get 530 types of matter. With this, we have finished our